Hi, and welcome to MoeJoe Creations. Today is more of a test on palm wax. It's a more higher temperature wax than soy. So with this one here we're dealing with a small amount, and unfortunately this is a failed for our test. So make sure you watch to the end and you'll see what I mean by failing. So here we get the water. What we're trying to do is measure the amount of wax that we need for this container, so we don't go wasting, or we make sure we have enough and not enough. Now to do this, we fill the container up to where the desired amount of wax would go, and we pour that in. Now this particular amount is up to 200 mils of water. So as you can see there, 200 mils. Now we're going to work out the ratio we need of wax. So to do this, it's 200 multiplied by 0.83, which gives us 166. So that tells us we need 166 grams of wax. So let's get rid of the rest of the water, and then we'll make our way to the dungeon. So I'm normally fairly good at measuring out wax. When it comes to liquids and dyes and perfumes, not so good. Alright, so I think we're pretty close to the mark on that. Okay, so we're after 166 grams, and look at that, 166, fantastic. So is editing. So we'll put that into our double boiler, which we've had going for a while. We're going to crank this up to 220 degrees Celsius, that's the water. So we need to get this palm wax up to at least 95 degrees. So while that's in there, we'll start to add our wax. I'm choosing to use a wood wick with this particular candle. I think it'll complement it. Now obviously we need our sticky dots to adhese the metal clip, but I'm thinking because it's a lot hotter temperature, we'll go with the bigger dot. So we'll put that in and line it up as best as you can, what you think's nice in center. And unfortunately for someone like me with big hands and big fingers, you can't always get your hands in them, so something like a skewer or a chopstick works fine. Let's get that down into glass, push down, just get that adhesive to bite a little bit more. There's nothing more frustrating than the tab coming loose. Alright, safety. So also attach a sticker of care. This is not only for yourself, but for those that may buy it or test it for you on your behalf. You just want to be safe. Now we need to also work out the amount of fragrance we need to put in here. So the manufacturer allows 6% for this particular size of jar with the wax. So to work that out, we go 166 multiplied by 6%, and that gives us 9.96 grams. So we have a little mini scale here. A lot of people, they put it straight into the hot wax, but I'm not very good with it, so I like to throw a bit of caution, pre-weigh it, don't forget to tear off the jar, and as you can see I'm off to a good start, but as usual whenever it comes to fragrance or dye, sometimes I seem to go a little bit overboard. So I have a perfect little tool. You can see I've made a mistake. So we just need to take a little bit back out. The reason we take this out, you might think it's a small minute amount, but this candle is designed to only hold so much. So if you put in more than what it can take, it'll reject it in what they call sweats. So it'll sweat the fragrance out. So it won't look nice. You'll have bits of droplets pushing out of the candle on top. So when the consumer goes to light it, they've got a bit of water at the top there, and it's not nice at all. So that's why we stick to it. I always get freaked out with weights. You can see here I'm second doubting myself. Yep, it's okay. Right, so you can see it's melted, but we still need to get it a bit more up to temperature. always make sure give it a good stir, especially when you go to add in your fragrance and your colour. Make sure you mix very well. It needs that time to bond together and adhere well. Alright, let's add our fragrance. Again, stirring. Stir it in as you go. And this is the time when you also, once you've done this, add your dye to it. Alright, again, more stirring. You can never have enough stirring so long as you pour within the allotted time. So you want to pour that while it's still warm. The colour we chose was a teal colour. I used 3 drops of liquid dye, but in this particular case you can use other types of block dyes where you can scrape it off, but if we're looking at repeating, I find it a lot easier to keep up to date on what has been used. Do a final adjustment with your wick here, go by eye. Now you can see it's been poured in, and that's how it's going to set. So this is still setting. You can see the darkness in there, it hasn't fully cured yet, but you can see the crystallizing starting to form. We cut at a slight angle, 45 degree or so for the wooden wick, and then now we're actually going to light it. We'll light it for between 2 to 2.5 hours is the normal consensus to see how the burning pool goes. So what we're looking for is for it within that time to fully get to the edge and the melt pool. So you can see it's reached the edge, but it's too much. It has gone far down, more than we would like, and for a customer they would like to get more burn time. So it has a nice crackle. As you can see there, that's 2 hours and 20 minutes, but personally I believe we should go another wick size down, and that way the customer can really enjoy and get the required time. There's nothing worse than getting a candle and having it burn away very quickly. So we're all about luxury in this particular case. So I hope you've enjoyed and taken some information out of this. Unfortunately, this is a failed candle for us, so it should improve if we go 1 week down, which we will do, and hopefully we'll have success. Thank you for watching.